Hi guys and girls, I'm Obsidian and welcome to Coren Sons. So this is my first look at the title, which was released on the 19th of September. Now the developers classed the game as a tactical roguelite, and it has had some comparisons to the rather excellent FTL. Very early on, Coren Sons went to Kickstarter and completed a successful campaign there, generating €72,000. And slightly over 1 year later, here we are with the game having a full release both on Steam as well as the Humble Bundle store. Now here you find yourself in the cloned body of a famed Space Navy admiral, and it's your task to investigate the strange occurrences within the human empire. To achieve this, you'll travel through numerous star systems, moving from sector to sector as you are pursued by enemy hostiles. Each star system is fully explorable, and from here it's possible to get involved in ship-to-ship combat, embark upon planetary surface expeditions, trade, upgrade, along with numerous other things. The game claims to have 300 different possible story events, and this will likely go a very long way to help prevent things getting too repetitive, which can often be an issue with roguelike games. Now, much of the game takes place through the perspective of standing on the bridge of your battleship, as you can see here. It's a very neat view and one that works very well. Now, meanwhile, gameplay such as combat transitions to a tactical overview such as this one. Now, we will see more parts of the game as we progress through the video, so do hang around for that. And as to be expected from the game being a roguelite, when you die, you return back to the beginning again. In this case, in a freshly cloned body. So let's take a look at things from that point. So basically what happened is that I got to the end of the first sector where you encounter a boss fight, a guardian of a ship preventing you from leaving the first sector. I actually didn't make it out, so we've got to go back and awaken in a new clone, and this is essentially how it begins every time. And we can skip the conversation or talk with the AI guy here, who gives us a bit of an overview of what's going on in case we may have forgotten, but we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to jump straight in here and make another attempt. Now when we start out, we can choose our battleship here. We've got a whole variety of them. Unfortunately, I can't actually choose from any of the others because I haven't made much progress through the game yet. So we've still got the first Excelsior class, Chaos class, Jericho class, and so on. We need to unlock or complete the respective chapters before we get to these. Also, we can't see the stats of these, at least not yet. So we're stuck with the Excelsior class. You can see the stats of that right here. We've got some resources that we're going to begin the game with. This is the Neo-N fuel, or Neon as I'll probably end up calling it throughout the video. We got some scrap which we can use to purchase or repair and upgrade, and then we've got our commandos which we use for various types of missions. We start with a squadron here: fighter, drone, frigate, and some half-health drones as well. And this is the weapon on our battleship. Now, look over here, we've got some difficulties we can choose. We got normal, easy, and hard. And if we look, you'll see the effect that going easy actually has. So it gives us some extra scrap, and it gives us some slightly better hull. Yeah, two of the stats here on the hull actually change. If we change to hard, we see we start with quite significantly less scrap, but it doesn't have any impact on the ship stats itself. Just want to see if that affects the drone. No, it doesn't. Okay, so we're going to go for normal mode, and we're going to now choose the officers. So the officers all have various stats or various buffs that they give you throughout the game. Joseph Chow gives 200% critical effect repair. We don't want that. Hull repair, 0.5 points per second. Like that. What else have we got? Proximity repair. Heal all squadrons adjacent to the hull integrity system cell for 0.5 health points. So I assume the hull integrity system cell would be near the battleship, so we could recall them near the battleship and it would repair. I don't know where the hull integrity system actually is. What else? Proximity defense deals 2 DPS to enemies adjacent to your battleship system cells. Okay, so for me the choice really is between the proximity repair for the fighters or proximity defense. The difference between a scientist or a soldier. Go for the scientist. Special Officer DNA database. Find a new DNA sequence to unlock this clone. Right, so I guess that's something that comes further through the game. And here's a summary of where we're at. Let's start. Let's get going. So this is a roguelike, as I said. When we die for good. The map here essentially seems to be procedurally generated. Every time we go through, it does look a little bit different. Now, I haven't managed to complete the exit so far, although I have got there a couple of times. We're going to do another run through. We can take a different route through this particular sector from star system to star system. It's good to look ahead, actually, and see what you may be facing. Now, these icons here, these yellow icons, these are anomalies. And as it says here, anomaly signals are the riskiest eventual encounter, offering very positive or very negative outcomes. You don't know which type of event event it is, negative or positive, until arriving at the signal's source. So, some of these star systems actually have multiple locations inside of them. This one's got 3. One's just got 2. The more options there are, the more likelihood there's going to be something beneficial you find. This one's got 5 at different locations, but 4 anomalies. So, you know, kind of, you do want more anomalies because it means you're going to potentially come across more positive things, but equally you could come across more negative things. So, I'm going to look for this bottom pathway here, or maybe the top pathway. We've got 2 different systems here with anomalies. And trading outposts. The trading outposts up here are early on. The trading posts down here slightly further along. Can't see we need to trade too early on in the game, so let's go to Callaway. Now, one thing I really do like about the game here is how everything's seen from the command deck through the viewfinder. It'll be like being on the Star Trek ships. Right, it's one of our own, sir, Lieutenant Hawks. These are our staff over here, or our crew. There's the Admiral, and this here is the AI. Let's see what else is going to go on here. I don't recognise the model of your battleship. Who are you? This is Admiral Elias Idaho of the NS Odysseus. But one thing you'll notice is over here, before we progress, this big cube, we'll get to that in a minute, but every system will have one of these cubes. Let's see what's going to go on here. Sorry, can you repeat that? I heard Admiral Idaho. No mistake, Captain, you've heard correctly. Pity one encounters so many lunatics these days. Look, Admiral Idaho, don't follow us. We live long, spread apart. We live longer, spread apart. Okay, end of transmission, sir. I wonder what's going on there. So, obviously, Admiral Idaho is a clone. We don't know how long he's actually been around for. We don't know how many clones have actually been travelling around. If he's a historical figure, for example, maybe this guy, that would explain why the crew on this ship are so seemingly or apparently suspicious. Now, the cube here harvests Neo-N from the stars here, so we can basically use that as fuel. Our fuel is up here on Neon. We've got 4 units. We can scavenge some. Little bar, a little progress indicator, will move up here. If it stops in the 1, we will get 1 unit. If it goes into 2, we get 2 units. 3, we get 3 units, and so on. And we can actually upgrade our chances here. Our fuel scavenging efficiency at 40 scrap increases our opportunity, or our chances rather, to get an increased amount of neon from each star. But let's see what we get. I'm sure it'll only be 1. Spoke too soon. We've very nearly got 3 there. Very, very impressive. Pretty much most of the time we just get a single unit. I guess this is heavily influenced by RNG. Right, so we've got a local star system. We're going to see what else is going on around here. It does take 1 unit of fuel to jump around inside the system, so we do need to be a little bit careful here. Which one do we want? Let's go for this one. It's going to be a random encounter. It could be a negative. And again, we see this lovely transition across the star system here. Scrapper battleship, 12 o'clock. And Hawks, anomaly signal. So scrappers are the enemies of the game, or at least one of the enemies. Big tech and new. I've been dreaming of this. So straight away, we're diving into a fight very early on in the game. Let's hope we don't suffer from too much damage. In fact, we may gain from this. So over here, we can see the ship's weapons, their squadrons, and their hull. It looks like they do have potentially some weapons equipped. Can't quite tell, but they do have squadrons. It looks like they're using fighters. Now, you'll see in the middle of the screen there, it says massive damage bonus versus drones against certain other types. So if they're deploying fighters, we would want to deploy not drones, basically, because they would knock the drones out very, very quickly. We need to use another ship against them. So we're going to click on here. And basically what we're going to send out is our frigates. Our frigates, as you can see, get a bonus against fighters. So we'll recall the ships here, click on the middle plus, and we'll deploy our frigates just out here between the two asteroid debris. Right, let's go. Right, so as we can see, they have deployed the fighters. We will send our frigates after that. Something odd going on over there. EMP tower. Right, meanwhile, our battleship's weapon is charging up. We're going to be able to use that, and we'll fire that over at the capital ship over there. Ready to deploy, ready to fire. I'm going to take down the ship's weapons first, so we can then send in our frigates. Let's deploy our fighters as well while we're at it. Right, so the fighters can go over and attack the hull. The frigate's going to come down here. Frigate down there. That's it. And we see if they actually do repair. Or come back. So you want to see our fighters actually take quite a bit of damage there. You can actually fire upon the ship again. So we need to keep an eye on our fighters. That squadron is about to deploy again. What are they going to do? They are going to get into combat with our fighters. It doesn't matter because we've actually taken down the battleship anyway now. Good job, Admiral. Here is a summary of the battle. We gained 55 units of scrap. Very nice. And again, another lovely transition back to the bridge of the ship, where we see the battleship going down in flames. Looks like there's a beacon here as well, but it doesn't appear we can actually interact with that. Now we can actually recall these. Right, so we'll go back to the local system map. I'm not going to go over here because we will be wasting a bit of fuel. Instead, we're going to go to the star map and see about making some progress along. So we're in Colorway here. We're going to go over to the next system. There's nothing super interesting over there, but the ejected cryopod would actually be quite interesting. Now over here we see incoming alert. What that is that as we travel through the sector, we're pursued by enemies. There'll always be a few jumps behind us, but what it means is that you can't spend too much time or waste too much time jumping between the various systems inside each sector. You've got to always keep progressing forward, because if you hang back, if you backtrack or whatever, then the enemies are going to catch up with you. We've got Captain Lin for you, sir. Sir, I hope you don't mind, but I've been talking to R&D about building the Nevro Commando virtual program. Thanks to some Kosh tech we picked up a while back, we think it's possible, and it could really bump our commando numbers. Sounds good to me. Of course, no guarantees here, sir. It'll require scrap, and it still might not churn out killing machines or good soldiers. Right, build a commando training program. 50-50 chance of success, I guess that means. Well, you're not really telling me how much scrap that's going to cost, but let's go for it. Let's get on the program at once. You really think it sounds promising? I mean, I'll let you know when the trainees have finished the program. Thank you, sir. Okay, so something random just occurring there from every so often. Oh, listen to that. That sounds great, doesn't it? It looks like we're going to see the results straight away. The training program was a failure, sir. Surprise, surprise. I guess our tech was a little too intense. The trainees lost the ability to separate reality from virtuality and descended into madness. Are we going to lose scrap and commandos? Thing is, I was hooked up too. The virtual trash worms weren't half as scary as they are in real life. Guess they weren't commando material after all. So few of us are. So we lost a bit of our scrap that we gained previously. Let's scavenge some neon. And have a look around the star system here. No. Not the star map, but the local star system. Right, so there's only one area here, and that's the ejected crow pod. Maybe we'll get some scrap from that to replace what we just lost. Lovely looking gas giant here. Sir, I got R&D for you. Well, we know what we think of your R&D. Sir, I hope you don't mind, but since we had a little time in our hands, we went ahead and built a little weapon prototype out of the scrap. We think it will really help you blow our enemies up. Don't you think you should have asked for permission first? Oh yeah, you're absolutely right, sir, but it's almost complete. You want us to finish it or not? R&D team, enough scrap to finish the weapon. I'll go for it, why not? Looks like you're really on to wasting our scrap at the moment. Thanks a lot, sir. Always nice to hear you say that. You know how plants feed on sunlight? All your accomplishments. Vital nourishment. Okay, enough with the butt kissing. Right, R&D is so weird. We got a cannon. I don't think the cannon is actually all that good, and I'd have preferred to have kept that scrap, but no matter. Right, so the ejected crow pod is down on the planetary surface. I assume we're not actually going down to the gas giant surface itself, but rather one of the moons, which we can't actually see. At least that's the way I'm going to see it in my mind. We're going to prepare for the mission. We need a minimum of 3 commandos. We've got 12. We can actually purchase some more here. We can't. We need a trading station to purchase more. Fine, let's go down to the planetary surface then. So we scan the planet, and it will tell us what options we've got down there. There's no major threats, thankfully. We're looking for an ejected crow pod. We've got one chance to retreat, and these are the potential outcomes. So, your officer has a chance to be injured. Okay. We'll extract between 52% and 82% of resources. We can lose between 0 and 7 commandos. Well, we will go down there. It looks very, very risky, but, you know, why not? Let's go for it. Still very early on in the game anyway, so if you don't take any risks, we're not obviously going to have the resources to get further through the game. I'd be a bit more careful about the risks later on. But every time we've come across these, they're always foul. Again, it's fouled, nothing found. This happens absolutely every time without fail. Now, I'm not sure if that's a bug or anything like that, or there's just a very high % failure rate, but every time I've gone down to the planet, these things always fail. Now, the commandos will go on a journey and have a look around the rest of the area here, but this was the main zone that we were interested in looking at, and it's always a case that nothing's found. Right, resource cache. What may happen is we may get some danger zones in a minute. Here we go. Right, we suffered some danger there, and we got someone injured and someone dead already. We're going to continue on. Resource cache. Right, neon fuel, nice. Wow. Okay, so yellow means injured, red means dead. Got the scrap that I wanted. Right, 2 commandos dead, and we have got an injured officer by the looks of it. Come on. So this is all pretty much random. I've got no control over this at all, as you can no doubt see. Extraction point. So we lost 4 commandos. We got 3 injured, and I don't actually know what happened to the officer. But anyway, we're going to extract. We didn't do bad overall, I don't think. 100 units of scrap, very nice, and 3 units of neon fuel, which is an extremely valuable resource. The expedition team was able to return to the NS Odysseus, if we say that. Okay. So how's the officer doing? I assume as one of these 2 officers, these 2 over here, they look like they're in tip-top condition still. And we want the star map now to make some further progress. Right, now we can't see further ahead here. We can't really get a good idea of what's further along in the sector, but that is something that's upgradable with the upgrades. I'll just very quickly show you that. The navigation scanner shows stellar systems information up to 2 jumps away, so it's something we could buy if we actually wanted. Additional squadron docks is a nice option. Squadron system support, squadron dock recovery, additional hull structures, hardened hull. There are a whole load of things here that we can actually think about buying. We may want sooner rather than later, but at any rate, we're going over to Nunkib, which has got 2 anomalies there. It's also got a mercenary outpost, which will give us our first opportunity so far to do some trading. So let's travel over there, and you can see the alert is spreading, slowly catching up with us. All the time we keep ahead of it, we're actually going to be quite fine. Right, another ship here, this time a civilian ship. A civilian ship, sir, says Lieutenant Hawks. Incoming message, says Lieutenant Ozu. And they're talking of something that's entirely unreadable. Either they're talking a language we don't understand, or the communication may be encrypted somehow. Scrambled. The message is completely scrambled, sir. Can't make heads or tails of it. Some must have fried their comms system, or perhaps their brains. What do you want to do about this ship, Admiral? Investigate the civvy ship. They could need your help. Attempt to contact the ship again. Continue on. Maybe the message was a warning. Yeah. We're going to go buy some commandos anyway, so send a team over there. Lean, check out the ship with a team. Looks like comm capabilities will be limited, so you'll have to return to report your findings. On our way, Admiral. Let's see what happens. Sir, I'm back. That was quick. What did you find, Captain? The message was a warning not to come any closer. Then Neon reactor was unstable from high solar interference. Was? It blew up, sir. And so did the civilian ship along with it. It's still right there. Maybe it'll disappear in a minute. But there's more, sir. We've lost our team. Our men and women. They were on the civvy ship and they're gone. Of course they are. What were they doing on that ship, Captain? Unable to communicate with our ship, I had to make a snap decision. Given the situation, I thought they should board the ship to get help to the civvies to get them off. I made the wrong call, sir. I made the worst call that you could make. Your problem, not your fault. Captain, I can't fault you for trying to save the civilian lives. It was the right thing to do. It makes me feel a little better to hear you say that. Thank you, sir. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go try to drown the rest of these feelings in the strongest battleship brew I can find. Right, okay, well, that was a loss, wasn't it? Scavenge some neon, at any rate. Let's have a look further around this star system. We're going to go straight to the trading post here. We haven't got as much scrap as I would like, but that is better than nothing. Unless something else is going to go on here. An Imperial ship, you can help us. The shutdowns left our planet in a civil war. My people, the S&M, desperately need your help. Ask her more about the Civil War. Tell me more about the Civil War. There are 2 types of people here, the S&M and the Bashari. When the Yaki Omnis were here, they gave the best jobs to the Bashari, often overlooking my people, the S&M. This was done by the Akis to divide us so they could better control us, I believe. In the beginning, both people knew it was an unjust and arbitrary system, but the Bashari side of that and started abusing their power, throwing Ashram in jail and harassing them as often as they could. This abuse went on for decades, and all that was preventing violence between our 2 people was paradoxically the Omnis. But when the shutdown happened, suddenly the barrier was gone. That's when the war between our 2 peoples started. I'm glad you're here. You can really help my people. Ask how we can help. So how do you want me to help? We need commandos to defend ourselves against the violent Bashari. They want to wipe us off the planet. I haven't got enough commandos, I'm afraid. Do not listen to this nonsense, Admiral. It is the Bashari who are persecuted by the S&M. I should know. I have suffered terribly at their hands. It is true, the Omnis elevated us within our society into positions of power, but rightfully. The Bashari are intelligent and industrious, unlike the S&M. No, it is we, the Bashari, who need your commandos to defend ourselves from the S&M. You know what? We're not giving you any commandos. Because I haven't got many. You've proven yourself a cowardly Imperial. I've only got 4 commandos left. Once I agree with an S&M. Are you usually this indecisive? No, it's not a matter of indecisive. I'm quite decided on the matter. Right, let's visit this shop here and see what we can purchase. I'm going to buy some commandos. Let's get back up to 10 again. And let's have a look at these officers. Emergency hull repair. Lethal firing. Heat sustained by systems from battleship weapons. Tactical targeting. Squadron DPS is improved. Duration of effects created by weapons 50%. So Sub-Zero gun, dark matter cannon, Tesla field. What are you going to buy? Buy here. I'm going to equip you to, hopefully, there you go, my squadrons. Right, thank you. We're now totally out of scrap, but that's no problem because I think we're going to move on to the next system. We've got some anomalies here. What should we do? Should we risk it? We risk it and go for an anomaly? Why not? Probably lose some more commandos that I've just purchased. Right, anomaly signal. Enemy ship, sir. The battle is imminent. Good luck, Admiral. It's a trap. The enemy was waiting for you. His squadrons have been deployed and his weapons are ready to fire. So it's already ahead of us in a combat state. Right, we've got some turrets here to worry about this time. And wow, this ship is actually in a much better position than us. We can see they have got a scientist on board, giving them some hull repair. They've got a fighter and a frigate. And they've got a weapon. Some auxiliary systems as well. So I'm not sure how we best deal with all of this. But let's get on with it and see what actually happens. We're going to deploy our frigates. We're going to deploy our fighters. And we're ready to go, I think. Oh, wow. Took some damage there already, didn't we? Right, so I don't know these turrets. They may have a certain range on them. I'm going to send my frigates against the fighters. Come on, frigates, fight the fighters. And the other fighters will fight the frigates. Oh, they go the long way round, don't they? Come on, weapon, charge up. We need you. They're trying to... I was just trying to save my fighters there, but that didn't go down very well, did it? These are repaired up. Right, so already in a bit of a mess here then. We've lost our fighters already. Let's deploy some drones. Take on the enemy fighters. He's ready to fire. Let's shoot at their hull. I have a feeling we're going to lose this one. Right. Drones against fighters. Frigates against fighters. Nope, we've lost the drones. Well, we got in a bit of a mess here early on, didn't we? Tackled something a little bit too difficult, a little bit too early on. Weapon is nearly ready to fire again. But so too is theirs. Guys trying their best to repair. Come on. Oh, there's a repairing as well. Right, a bit faster than ours. Tell you what, maybe we can label their weapons. Enemy weapon is ready to fire. Oh, we're in trouble here. We're gonna head to a early grave by the looks of it, back to the clone. They've run out of squadrons though. It's nice to know. I have a feeling if I send them over there, they're gonna get shot up by that turret, but you never know. Let's go and give it a shot. Yeah, one more shot and we've finished, I think. There you can see the firing range of the turret. We're keeping just outside of that. But this has probably got some defence going on when we're nearby it. Looks like we should have done that earlier on, doesn't it? Sent the squadron over there, or the frigates over there. Right, they're going to fire their last shot any moment now. Come on, we're so close. Maybe we can do this. Maybe we can. Oh, look at that. That was a surprise. Right, so I said I should have sent the frigates over there a little bit early on, but they were down here repairing up anyway. Good job, Admiral. This is a summary of the battle. So we've lost... Well, they're not lost, they're just wrecked. So hopefully they can be repaired. But we have got some scrap. Right. So we should get away from that anomaly. But the next area does also have a repair place. Hopefully there's a secret military base there, which as well as a military outpost. So hopefully that's where we can repair our ships here. That didn't go anywhere near as well as I was actually hoping. Off we go to Rukbia. Slightly different colorations here. I'll be honest with you, Admiral, I'm going to need a good reason not to end you. Try to make a deal with the pirate. Offer the pirate a chance to surrender. Surrender, pirate. There's no way you can win this. Fine, I surrender this time. You better pray if we don't run into me again, I'll bounce back from this. Big talk for a guy who's just handed us all his scrap. Nice. That's very handy. A bit more fuel. And head on over to the, what do we do first? Let's go to the mercenary outpost. And then we go to the military base. What R&D for you, sir? Sir, I hate to complain, but we're twiddling our thumbs down here looking for a bit of direction. Anything in particular you'd like to work on? I mean, like anything. Yeah, build me a squadron. Yes, we sure can, but we're going to need a fair amount of scrap to do it. Go ahead. Let's hope there's a chance of 100% success on this. I want this failing. But your squadron is ready. I feel useful again. Praise Oberon. Right, so some drones. Not terrible, but not great. Let's visit the shop and see what else we can get. So, don't want any more commandos. What slots have we actually got available to us here? None at the moment, so let's see about some upgrades. Hull hardening. Additional hull structures, rather, hull integrity support. Let's go with some hull hardening, I think. Why not? Spend all the scrap. There's nothing in the shop there that I actually want. We've got enough fuel to get us to the next area in this system, and then to the next jump sequence. We will do that. Right, sir, I'm picking up a recorded message from this beacon. Must be pre-shutdown. You want to make a difference in your empire? Looking for a world-pan career with a lifelong benefits and prestige? It's spam. Spam beacon. Then look no further. Sign up today at your local recruitment facility and join the fleet. The time has come for you to make a difference. Right, let's prepare a mission, I guess. Hope it goes a little bit better than the previous one. Right, we haven't got a very high chance of success for any of this. I don't want either one of these. Look good. Yeah, go there. Launch expedition. Right, let's see what actually happened. Well, straight away in a fight, straight away injured. Oh, look at this. We have got some fuel. I know you can continue on, you don't need to stop yet. Secret military base, nothing found, you wait. There you go. Like I say, every single time. Without foul on that. Nearly there. Not too dangerous so far. At least we got ourselves a bit of extra scrap. Extraction point. Well, we nearly lost the officer there, didn't we? Right, we lost one commando and we gained 3 units of fuel and a third. So, quite pleased with that. You know, even if we went back to the... Is this one that's injured? Oh, they all seem quite well again. Even if we go back to the base here and came back, the commando that we'd lost was still going to be slightly up from where we were previously. So yeah, I think that's where we're going to leave it today. It does seem like a very interesting game. Hopefully it's given you a bit of an insight as to what it's actually like and how it actually plays. A very nice and different take on the roguelike, and actually builds very nicely on the grounds of that FTL set all those years ago. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time.